Okay, hi everyone. So in this video, we're gonna look at Figma and how to bring a chart over from one of the libraries I've allowed you to use for assignment one. So this example is the 59 charts UI responsive components. So if we right click and copy, or you can control C on your keyboard, you can come back to our own project. So I've got a frame here, which I've just added down with the frame button. And I can just control V or I can paste right here on my own project. And you can see here's the chart. I can move it around. However, one of the requirements is to customize the chart if you are using this library. So let me just zoom in here and let's say, for example, we want to change the title. Well, what I'm going to do is just keep double clicking until eventually, okay, eventually. So I've clicked like 8 times here. I'm inside of the chart title. And now I can start typing. I could say sum of sales, um, right? And get our chart title like that. Now we can also do that with the lines. If I wanted to change the colors, I can again just double click and you'll see the components loading on the side here on the left. You can also expand them like this if you want to try to get in there, and I can see the text here for the side y-axis if I want to change those values, or I can change the colors. I can just keep double clicking, and on the right, you can see there, oh, just disappeared. If I double click in here, you can see the colors populate on the right-hand side. So I can also just modify them here, go to custom and say I want a nice red. I can change this pink color if I wanted to. And we could go to like a nice blue maybe. Oh, let me just undo that. So let me just double click until I've got that line selected. Okay. And here we go. So, oh, I'm just changing the point itself actually. So let me just come right back up to the top chart level and I'll just keep double clicking, double clicking, double clicking, double clicking. Now you see how I've got the line selected, it's purple. I can change the stroke or the fill. So the stroke is obviously the line itself, and then the fill there, if I turn that on and off, you can't really see that changing. So we're gonna change the stroke color here, and I want it to be a nice blue. So there we go. And then obviously I'd have to go through and change each of those points as well to match, right? So here's the first point, and I could use a custom color. I could also do a darker blue if I wanted to. Again, you'd have to change the fill as well, okay, to match your line, right? So you can see it there. It is changing those properties. Okay, I did a purple and a blue, but it will take some time to customize, right? You would have to double click these and tell me, change the text to what this measure is going to actually be. So maybe you're measuring push-ups or something like that. And maybe it's not this week, maybe it's this month, right? Now, if you want to move the line, if you actually want to modify the shape of this, you can't do it here on the chart. It won't let you. You see that it's locked and there's no way for me to actually hover over and move. So I'll show you how to do that now. At this point in the video, you can probably just customize it, and if you're fine with that, that's fine. But if you want to do a little bit of extra, continue to watch, and I'll show you how to move those shapes around if you want to modify the shapes of the charts. So even if I come into this library, so this is the original library that I'm allowing you guys to use, you can see I can't move these. However, if I right click and I go to the main component, it's going to take me to the component that that's based off of. So here's the original layout. And if I double click any of these, you can see how now I've got the option to shrink things, right? So those little arrows show up. And if I keep double clicking, okay, so here I'm on this purple line. If I wanted to move the line itself, let me just double click till I've got the line selected. You can see the vector points here. So maybe I just want this to come down a little bit here, like a dip in April, right? So I can grab that. I can change the trajectory of it, right? Like this. And we could just make it look like that. Okay. And then I would have to grab these points as well. So I could grab this little guy and use my arrow key and just move it down there a little bit until it's intersecting the line like that. Okay. Maybe a little bit further. Now, what this will do this will change some of your other charts. If you update your main component, okay, you can see down here, this is kind of like where the original charts are. And then if I come back up, you can see that the charts that are based off of it all have that dip in April now, right? So any change you make there, okay, you can even see all of these all the way across. And if I go back to my chart, it's not updated, but now if I copied it, right? So if we took this one again, copy, and if I zoom out here, right beside it, paste, you can see now it's got that dip in April, right? Now, there may be a way to update this original chart. If I right click, I'm not sure if I can just update it and re-grab those changes. Reset instance perhaps. But anyways, you have to make the changes first in the original file and then bring them over if you wanted to actually change the shape. And that would be the same thing for these bar charts or this donut chart. You would just have to right click and then go to the main component. If you don't see go to main component, then that means you are on the main component, right? So down here is where you would see those main components if I come down to the bottom here, right? Where I can double click and I can actually change those, right? Okay, so hopefully that helps. You should have customized color, text, shapes, all of that. There should be no legends that say content or default values, okay? So everything should be customized to your layout and your sketch that you've drawn for your partner. All right, hope that helps. Thanks.